Well, it may not be easy to keep employees happy, some employees anyway, but a new list proves that some do it better than others. A mix of companies are laying claim to the best bosses, according to a new report from Glassdoor. Julie Verhage wrote about the list for Bloomberg and joins us now. So what were the criteria?
So the criteria, Glassdoor is a website where employees can go on and anonymously rate their employers, the CEO of the company. So the criteria, they just did it over a 1-year period and then compiled all the data. You did have to have at least 100 ratings to make sure it's not just like 10 employees saying you did a really good job.
Indeed. Okay, so who tops the list?
So it's not names that you might expect. You know, Bain Capital CEO Bob Bechek, Ultimate Software, Scott Shearer, McKinsey & Companies, Dominique Barton, and then you have names like Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook and Jeff Weiner at LinkedIn that were also.
Who's number one?
Bain & Capital's Bob Bechek is
okay, so
number
he's
one.
number one.
Yes.
That's bizarre.
I mean, I didn't even know who the CEO of Bain & Company was until this list came out.
Yeah, a new celebrity CEO on the scene. Is it to do with how much people are compensated usually?
So one of the things is not necessarily compensation, but they want a clear mission of what's going on at the company. They want transparency. They don't want, uncertainty. Is my job still going to be here in a year? Like, how is my role going to change within the firm? And you see that a lot with Yahoo. They have a lot of uncertainty, and Marissa Mayer was one of the lowest rated, 64% approved of her this year.
Okay, so she dropped off the list?
She wasn't on it last year either. She was much higher rated, though. I think it was in the 80s last year.
Okay. So who else didn't make it onto that list?
So some names that were pretty close, Twitter and Square's Jack Dorsey was very close. He had about an 88% approval rating at both companies. Yeah, go ahead.
How much does personality have to do with it?
I mean, I think you want someone that, you understand and can relate to quite a bit. And these CEOs pay a lot of attention to this, too. I've talked to people before. The HR department will actually go through this and see what employees are saying and then give it to the executive team, say, hey, these are some of the suggestions that employees are doing. Think if the staff of your show had a website where they could go and rate you. You'd want to see what they were saying about how you were doing, too.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody ever says, hey, go on Glassdoor and complete this? I want to win?
I'm sure there's companies that, encourage that.
Yeah.
So do CEOs often go on this list to monitor? And
I don't know how often they're going on it, but I guarantee you they're looking at the list to see where they're ranked and what their employees are saying about the company.
Is it private and public companies, Julie?
So this list had mainly public companies, but private companies are eligible too. You just probably have more employees at a public firm that can go on and you meet that 100 review criteria.
We should say, though, it has to be companies that can access that website from their company servers, right?
Unless you want to do it on your own time, you're really passionate about writing the review or something. But
all right, well, it's one metric anyway. Julia, thank you so much.